as highly sensitive people, we are energetically very powerful. And it comes through the power, the strength, the intensity of our emotions. And so when we find objects in our lives that we actually love, it's not that we're attached to them, it's that we infuse our love in them. And on some level, these things that we care for and put part of ourselves in, because as highly sensitive, the chaos of the world is felt even more intensely. These things that we infuse love into in our environment and surrounding, they end up being like beacons, like the markers that establish our private safety and stability around us. And I believe that that's why when we lose some of them, it is not just sad and painful, it's destabilizing. And I think that part of our abilities and maybe purpose is to infuse this world with love, and not just in human relationships, but in all the things that are around us. Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? Got a frog in my throat. In French, we say a cat in my throat. But anyway, it's a frog. Having fun with a cat. Oh. Okay, so I want to talk about our relationship with things. As highly sensitive people, we have a different and I think deeper relationship with things. And it's not about like unhealthy attachment. The reason I want to talk more about this is I did a short video about the pain of losing things that we love as highly sensitive people. And it got quite a bit of engagement, more than usual. And I think it's because there's something there. We know that we're in spiritual development. We're not supposed to be attached to things. But as highly sensitive people, because of the depth of our feelings and emotions and how we process and this more complex, deeper way of experiencing the world, our relationship with things are different. And it made me think of that, yes, because the video as I did a few days ago was because I lost a hiking bandana that I had had for 25 years. That's been with me so many places. And it hit me hard, like the sadness of losing something. And I posted a photo online and saying, if anybody has found this, please contact me. And then somebody wrote, well, maybe it was just meant for you to let go of it, and it will now be in the hands of someone else who will just love it as much as you did, and it's just the right order of things. And I get that, but it's kind of denying the feeling, right? So big picture, sure. But the reality of me as a highly sensitive woman and my experience of this was not about learning detachment. I've had when we find things, objects, I won't talk about people and pets and all the living things, but when we find objects in our lives that we actually love, it's not that we're attached to them, it's that we infuse our love in them. And on some level, these things that we care for and put part of ourselves in, because as highly sensitive, the chaos of the world is felt even more intensely. These things that we infuse love into in our environment and surrounding, they end up being like beacons, like the markers that establish our private safety and stability around us. It's like being one of these contraptions that are like multipods. You know, they have all these legs that sit around and it gives the structure its stability. I think that some of the things that we infuse with our love in our environment bring us this sense of safety and protection. And it's not because we are more attached to things. It's because energetically we invest our energy and our love and our care and our TLC into these things, and they create our environment. And I believe that that's why when we lose some of them, it is not just sad and painful, it's destabilizing. And that's just an interesting way of looking at things, mostly, like I said, when we're in spiritual development and it's like, have no attachment to things. But I think there is another level. Perhaps people who are not highly sensitive, they don't feel that chaos so much. And perhaps for them, the lesson of detachment, maybe when they're attached, it's more about their ego. And then there is a lesson of learning to let go of things. But I have a sense that as highly sensitive people, it's a different dynamic that's at play, and that those things that we care for are very important. And when I was in relationships and the other person wouldn't be careful with some of my things, and I would say, be gentle with this, you know, it's going to chip the corner, it's going to break the cover, it's going to, things like that. And they just would not, it would like hurt me in a way that was beyond the fact that an object would be broken. It was part of my organization, part of my structure, part of my safety, part of what keeps me sane and keeps me grounded and anchored. I wanted to talk about it more because, like I said, there is something that seemed to resonate with other highly sensitive people or empath or different types of neurodivergent people about our attachment to things, what they mean to us, what is the mechanism by which we infuse part of ourselves, part of our love into them. And when we lose them or they are uncared for or destroyed, how much it affects us and why. So I'd love to hear what you think about that. Because I know I've always wondered, like, why does it hurt so much when I lose a little thing that meant something to me? I mean, all my life it's been like that. Since I was a kid, it's always been like, oh no, or something that was damaged, and it affected me. And I never quite understood this until just recently, when this thing about losing my bandana kind of started swirling in my mind, and I started reflecting on it. And the good side of this, that is beyond us creating something for our own stability, is that we are the ones who can infuse love into inanimate objects and trees and rocks and all these things in the world. You know that feeling, even if your eyes are closed, if you walk into a house, you can feel if this home is loved, if it is neglected, or if people are just indifferent to it. There is a feeling love can be infused into things. And I think that part of our abilities and maybe purpose is to infuse this world with love, and not just in human relationships, but in all the things that are around us. I think it's part of our purpose because it's something that we do naturally, and it extends into how we set ourselves up to find some stability and peace in this world. Something to think about. And something else to think about. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I would love if you would. It really makes a huge difference if everybody listening just clicked subscribe. Share the video if you know another highly sensitive person to whom it could resonate, and make a comment, do a thumbs up, all kinds of things that the algorithms love and respond to. So let's infuse some of our love into the algorithm by subscribing, getting likes, sharing, and commenting. Okay, I'll see you soon. I love you.